Now back to the #1 truth fighter in Boston, the Warren Ballentine Show, only on NewsTalk, 1090 AM, WILD Boston, where information is power.
Warren Ballentine.
Talking with Dick Gregory.
Now, you talking about being black in America. You should have heard me when the Federal Banking Commission called me, told me, my money was gone.
Coast to coast and around the world.
It has nothing to do with race. It shouldn't be a divide of race in this matter. It's about justice.
I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
When you have a philosophy or a gospel, I don't care whether it's a religious gospel, a political gospel, an economic gospel, or a social gospel. If it's not going to do something for you and me right here, right now, to hell with that gospel.
877-373-9766. 877-373-9766. And chat right now. Log on to thetruthfighters.com.
All right, Truth Fighters, we are talking with Dick Gregory. I'm going to go back out to the lines. Dick, what do you think about all this stuff going on with this guy in Connecticut? Give me your take on this.
You look at what they've been telling us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That first it was a beer distribution center, right? Now, if your father and your father's father and you own a toothpick company, right?
Right.
I work there. You don't have no problem with me picking up some toothpicks. So people work in beer distributors. I call them folk all across the country that know beer distributors, and they got back to me and said, you can take all the beer you want. As long as you're not taking truckloads, right, that you selling it. So now let's go back to what they said. He worked there 2 years, right?
Right.
They said he came in one morning to have a meeting, and they fired. They wanted him to quit, right? Well, think about if I quit, I don't get no benefits. I don't get unemployment. And so they got through. And then 8 people end up shot. Now, then we find out they had filmed, they videotaped him stealing beer.
Right.
Okay, now, everybody who have a company that have it insured against theft, the minute you see that happen, you're supposed to call the police. Why didn't he? Okay, what did he do? He called a private detective agency. Are you aware of that?
No, I wasn't.
Follow him for 2 weeks. Well, wait a minute. One, if you hire a private detective agency to fire somebody to follow somebody, that agency works for you, right?
That's right.
They're not cops. They're not getting paid by tax money. So what can keep you from having them follow me and plant drugs in my truck? Plant drugs. You follow what I'm saying?
I get you.
The minute you assume that I'm stealing, have the evidence, now that's a police matter. Nobody's explained that, and the New York Times haven't asked why. They talk about the guns he had. Every major thing you see from the shooting, they tell you where the guns came from to let you know if they were legal, right?
Right.
Did he have a permit? How come that we haven't found out where those guns come from? Then they say they hired a Negro that's been he retired 2 years ago. They brought him back to work. And I don't know if you got to have one Negro in that company or what, but he said, I don't understand. There's not a racist bone in here. Not anybody that's a company, ain't nobody there racist, okay? Now, they might not be bothering you, but when you make a blanket statement like that. Now, go back to the lady he lived with. She said to the New York Times article, and it was also in the New York Post, that that morning, he was acting strange, and she said, and it's almost like he was in a trance. The first thing I thought about, mind control, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Not drunk. When people get drunk and get high and all that, you don't call that a trance, okay?
Right.
And so there's just more to it than they telling us. And until that's all out there, I'm saying, what were they doing in that company? Was it more going on in that company than just distributing beer? I don't know. You hear me? But what they telling us, I mean, they lay it out, and you say, well, wait, every time I see one of these massacres, they tell about the gun, the make of the gun, and if they was registered, that they never said those guns he had was illegal. They never said they wasn't registered. Then where did you buy them? And And so it's that whole the whole thing. So I'm just saying everything they're saying could be true, but I'm saying from the information that they putting out, it leaves a lot to be it leaves a lot to be desired.
Now, we're almost up against the commercial break, and it's going to be the last segment for this hour. And before I let you go, I just want to get your take on the Tea Party and the president.
Well, I thought you were going to ask me about Julianne's daughter.
Well, you know what? We can talk about that, too, because that was a little crazy, too, for her to be stealing like that.
Did you hear what you just said? Hear what you just said? Anybody 20 years old at Harvard in college and arrested for shoplifting, they have a past record of that. You don't get 20 years old and start shoplifting. See, shoplifting ain't got nothing to do with money. Shoplifting is some kind of sexual urge, the ability to, can I get this without getting caught? But I say this to say, did you see what the New York did? Now, you know a dad is gay and he cross-dresses. You know that.
Yeah, okay. I do know that.
And now the cartoon in the New York Daily News 2 days later was her coming out with the two cops with her, and Pop standing out there, you know how to do cartoons, in a woman's dress saying, if you wanted cosmetics, why didn't you come to me? now, I say all that to say this. That just finished his career. Okay, here's why. Law and order, talking law and order, and you're the law and order man, and then they throw your daughter up, and she's the same thing when all them right-wingers was running Buchanan in there and was attacking gays and lesbians, and his daughter
right, and Dick Cheney,
Dick Cheney's daughter, but here's the Buchanan's daughter did it first. Held a press conference, my dad wouldn't have said that had he known I was a lesbian. So
wait, hold that thought, Dick. We're up against the commercial break. Talking to Dick Gregory, talking to you Truth Fighters right here, right now. Warren Ballentine Show.
Stay tuned for the Warren Ballentine Show. Call 1-877-373-9766. 1-877-373-9766. Call the #1 Truth Fighter and stay with News Talk 1090 AM WILD Boston.